how do you talk about this game as a broader phenomena? And my passion for it really comes from this place where it's this shared virtual world where thousands and thousands of people participate, and through that participation they tell their own stories. And then I thought, what's more science fiction than that, in a sense? So in a modern world, what is a modern work of science fiction? I don't think that's one book, like one linear story. I think it's something like EVE Online, where it is a shared fictional setting, but it's connected, it's online, and it's thousands of stories taking place in that same universe. And that, for me, is why I call it the world's largest living work of science fiction. With EVE, you are stepping in and directly participating in the science fiction work itself. It's real-life science fiction. You are there and you are making the stories, and if those stories reach far enough, the whole universe might hear about them, and suddenly you are actually the protagonist in a subset of those thousands of stories that are going on at the same time. EVE Online is one shared setting, but thousands of stories go on there. And some of them are so small that no one else really hears about them, but it's an amazing experience for the person who was there, because their contribution and participation is what made the story. But sometimes those stories just travel to the whole universe knowing about them. And that, for me, makes EVE Online like a single work of science fiction that is alive because you can affect it. I think that it's really interesting to try fiction as a way to capture some of these stories, because we have written fiction that is about the setting in the universe, that kind of paints the backdrop to player actions. And this is an attempt to use fiction to tell the stories of what players have then done in that universe.
What excites me about EVE is the fact that it's become something much bigger than what we anticipated when I started working at CCP 15 years ago. And now, suddenly, we have these amazing stories, this incredible narrative, which was not written by us, but actually happened in this parallel universe. When Jeff and the Mittani Media came to us with the question if they could do this book, I was skeptical at first, like, who is this guy? And can he carry the torch for us? Is this somebody we can trust? So we did a deep dive. We read his novels. We read some example stuff that he did. And when I started doing some research and realized his background, which was kind of as close as you can get to being a capsuleer in space. This is a guy that worked in the military. He worked on like ships, chasing nuclear submarines, scanning them, and knows science fictions. He knows how to write action, and he knows about doctrine and strategy, and he's a proven writer, and all kind of materialized then that, and he's the perfect guy to tell our story. So I think it's really exciting that we have someone who, with all these accolades, that's able to bring both his experience and his thirst for knowing more and thirst for knowledge into reporting this kind of narrative of a true story set in a galaxy 20,000 years in the future.
I started with CCP back in 2003. So I've been here, like this February, I'll have been with EVE for 13 years. So started out as a GM, ad in the paper, got the job, kind of got more and more involved in like community events and stuff like that. Just enjoyed talking to players and got really interested in all the things that people were doing. So I ended up in community, and I've been, doing a lot of stuff there since then. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see the stories of real people that are alive today, being real events that people took very personally and have very strong opinions on, and see them translate into a work of science fiction based on these real events that like people can read and discuss and have strong opinions on. It's like I don't know. I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to see what people think about it.